Political streamers are probably the most interesting in the YouTube sphere. And I'm being nice here. You see, my political beliefs are cynical. I hate all things political, and quite honestly, I'd rather be talking about anyone else right now. The problem, this drama keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and I'm just fed the fuck up. The fuck road has given way, and I'm all out of fucks. At this point, I'm so out of fucks, I'm actually in fucking debt right now. I've had to do one thing I swore I'd never do, and that is look into a political streamer. I feel so dirty. I took a shower and I still don't feel clean, okay? That's the amount of BS I had to wade through for this story. At one point, my brain leaked out of my skull. This is why I hate political streamers. They're boring, nothing they say matters, and none of them are running for office. Running their mouths? Oh, yeah, abso-fucking-lutely, all of the time. Look at the clock. Some political streamer is talking about black authoritarianism, or some trans issue, or white people are ableismins and gins. Oh my god. Look, I had to listen to a lot of bullshit for this video, so that I can find a backlog of crap our subject has said and done. This way, I can say there's a pattern to his behavior, and it's not just a one-time thing, and, yeah, I succeeded in that goal. Now, ask me if it was worth it, because no, it wasn't. I'm never doing this again. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Like, I had to look up what certain things he was actually looking up on the internet. Do you know the amount of brain I swear to God. Anyway, this, of course, isn't about me. This is about political streamers, and I think most, if not all of them, are shit. There might be an exception here or there, but I haven't found one. Most tend to be pretentious or end up being preachy virtue signalers. Some, like Hassan, end up being hypocrites, saying we should, quote, make the rich pay while owning $1 million house. I guess the rules are for me except for thee. Though Hassan, as it might surprise you, is not the subject of today's video. Instead, we have someone so vile, so repulsive, someone so off his knocker, I just couldn't sit by and not talk about him. In fact, this subject has made me dust off my YouTube channel and make a proper insert coin get cancer video on him. His crime is simple, hypocrisy, but it's how he is hypocritical I think really needs to be addressed and talked about. We need to go into detail as to why this person ended up ruining someone IRL. And the reason may shock you. In fact, there's a level of arrogance to this person I've only thought I'd see in movies or cartoons. This person has achieved a level of smugness on whole new levels I thought impossible. We're talking if you use fact and reason to crush his flimsy excuses for arguments, you're bad faith. Yeah, it's not that he could ever possibly be wrong. No, it's just, well, you're bad faith. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, lads and chads, grab your popcorn, grab your sodas. I'm Captain Poofers, and tonight I bring back ICGC one more time to highlight Vaush, a political streamer with a horse cock up his ass. Keep on riding. Keep on riding. Keep on riding.
In late 2017, I was a member of a Discord channel which belonged to Destiny, a streamer on Twitch. And in that Discord channel, I became friends with somebody named Poppy. Poppy was known for her hot takes. I had some hot takes of my own. I thought we could form a friendship. And so we did. We talked for a period of several months, and over the course of that prolonged conversation, we discussed a great many things. Often mutually. We discussed, of course, politics, our personal lives, our respective mental illnesses, sexuality, flirting, dating, all that stuff. And I thought at the time that these were perfectly normal, healthy conversations.
Because holy fuck, like, you could look at something that looks perfectly fine and then later find out it's lolly, and then you could find yourself in a situation like this. So this whole situation has honestly ruined anime for me so fucking much that I never want to watch anime again. I don't want anything to do with anime. I got my waist bin here and I got some of my anime. We got Death Note, one of my favorites. Fuck it, throw it in the bin. We got some Dragon Ball Z, another great anime show. Throw it in the fucking bin. Robotech seems pretty harmless, but who knows? Maybe there's some lolly in there. Throw it in the fucking bin.
Ethan Klein has completely lost it. So yesterday, Ethan Klein pretty much ran a hit piece on Vaush. Recently, on stream, Vaush would leak his porn folder. And within this folder, there was a couple images that looked a bit sus. They looked like they could have been lolicon.
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
Which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically like animated, drawn images of children. I'll be having a full stream segment coming out about that soon, but from the looks of it, it seems most likely that Vaush accidentally downloaded that image and had no idea that it was lolicon. There was only one image within that folder that looked like it could have been lolicon.
People need to be careful about false allegations of pedophilia, and in fact, this was something that Ethan Klein knew all too well, because he rightfully put Keemstar on blast back in 2016 for falsely accusing RuneScape Twitch streamer Tony Winchester of being a pedophile.
And the next person, Extreme Dad, who is a pedophile, has my picture as his profile. That's nice. I like that. Anyway, holy shit. Every single time, he actually is a pedophile. We have banned him from our, I'm not joking, Extreme Dad, we banned him from our Discord server because he was flirting with 14-year-old girls saying like, something like, you know, I can be your daddy.
5 days later, on October 10th, Vaush makes the first statement on his live stream regarding the allegation against Extreme Dad, something that Extreme Dad is feeling the consequences of to this day. Later that day, Xander Hall shares Extreme Dad's Twitter account on Discord with the message, "Extreme Dad is on Twitter. Have fun, guys." The only person of any redeeming quality that day was one of the older mods on Xander Hall's server, as Xander Hall, along with Vaush's girlfriend Hyena, were slandering Extreme Dad with no basis. Futaba attempts to red pill the server into not accepting the false allegation and clipped screenshots without context.
Still don't care. I still think that like zoophile porn, like drawn stuff, it should be 100% legal. In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography. Should consuming child porn be legal? I think that would be, yes, more legal and more ethically consistent. Yes, 100%.
And it's an explanation that is extremely well known and well substantiated. I'm a size queen. I like big dicks.
It's that part of the video where I'm sure no one skips or glosses over my disclaimer. I do not endorse going after subjects of this video. As my fans know, I've never been cool with that. Please don't do that. IRL shit has never been my thing. This show is designed to educate and entertain. Also, I'm trying to bring bullying back because, well, I feel like Vaush needed to be bullied in school. And if he was, his bullies didn't do a good enough job, because he's out there preaching the gospel of horsecock and getting off on lollies. Ugh. I'm getting ahead of myself, but you guys know me. I'm not cool with attacking people. If you feel the need to do something, leave a comment. It makes me look better in the eyes of the YouTube algorithmic gods. Also, I dance around the pedo question that's been thrown at Vaush in this video. I want to be very, very crystal clear. I am not calling Vaush a pedo. I'm calling him a freak, and in many cases, an asshole. These are distinctly very different things. I don't think it's a good idea for someone like me, especially to not stay consistent on my message, that calling everyone a pedo is probably not a good idea. I've said it before in the past. These accusations have serious implications, and quite honestly, there's not enough here to say for certain that Vaush is a pedo. A degenerate? Yes. Cringe as fuck? Oh, absolutely. But a pedo, he is not my Cheeto. So, I'm going to joke about the pedo question, I'm going to make fun of Vaush, and I may even imply at times that Vaush is being a pedo. But again, I am in no way calling him a pedo directly, okay? That applies to all subjects in my video. I'm just giving myself a blanket immunity for what is to come here, lads. So, who the fuck is Vaush? He is a political streamer known for his edgy and at times incredibly cringy takes. Like all political streamers though, he's on one side of the fence, and that fence is very left-leaning. Not that that's a bad thing, but I mean, he's the left's equivalent to Alex Jones, which is another way of saying,
look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
He once had a debate while arguing the chemical makeup of water.
You gave the example, one of your arguments against the biological definition of woman was that we didn't know about chromosomes many years ago. Well, first of all, I don't think biological sex is defined in terms of chromosomes. But let's just use the example of water. Maybe we could agree that water is H2O. That was true even before we knew about chemistry. That was the definition of water before anybody knew anything about chemistry, before we knew about H2O, back when Aristotle thought water was just an element. Nevertheless.
This isn't true.
That water has not always been H2O?
Yeah, all you have to do is cross the Mexican border. And over there, it's aqua. That's H2O, not water.
Aqua means water. Aqua is water.
It's a different term.
Actually, it's agua. It's not aqua, right?
dumb fuck.
Yeah. You have a general understanding of Vaush right now? I mean, he goes around claiming others are bad faith, making bad faith arguments, and then makes the worst arguments I have ever fucking seen. My point is, he sees himself as a debater, and in some cases, he thinks of himself as a masturbator. See what I did there? I'm clever. No, kill myself. Anyway. Oh my god. We probably should insert some backstory on Vaush as well. A while back, Vaush got into some hot, steamy drama with Poppy. She accused him of sexting, and she didn't welcome it. Vaush claims it was mutual, or at least that's my understanding to how he described the drama. And it was only after they parted ways did Poppy leak DMs to make him look bad.
Listen, baby. All right, let's get this going. All right, where are we? Okay, chat? So now that we've brought the sexual tension in here up to a simmering level, I know what you're thinking. What? What? I was actually thinking about how Trump has made another deal with Pelosi. Holy shit! I know you want to see it, but you're spiteful. And I know you'd share my dick pics around, even though it's in the exact upper spectrum of your preferred dick size range. What? No, dude, what the fuck? No! Do not send me your dick. Dicks are not attractive to look at. They're an empty feels-good man. Yeah, obviously. You'd send it around. Prove to me that I can trust you.
Yeah, that's some mutual conversation there. Now, I know this looks bad, but he couldn't have possibly done this again. Right? So there's this other person by the name of Pastel. Do you see where I'm going with this? Obviously it's not the first time, and Pastel actually fasted for 3 days after breaking relations with Vaush. Like, holy shit, Vaush, this guy, lady killer here. Unfortunately, we're not going to go into too much depth here. I've got some other points I'd like to cover that I think are more recent and probably more valid than Vaush's many hallmark sex moments, but are still worth mentioning to give my audience a general idea of who Vaush really is. Another point of contention comes from the Destiny side of the fence. Now, I know my audience doesn't want to sit through an over hour-long video. I mean, unless it's my over an hour-long video. Yeah. So I'll give the hallmarks and leave the title of the video in my credits. Vaush has apparently been taking Destiny out of context for a number of things Destiny has either said or posted about in the past. With many times Vaush has been taken out of context, you'd think that, well, Vaush would show full context, or show proof of his claims against Destiny. He does no such thing. Instead, Vaush tells his audience an out-of-context take because, well, why bother showing anything?
I want to describe one of the big processes in which people come to believe things about me that aren't true. For lack of a clever name, I'll call this the DLC, or Destiny Lie Cycle, that Ian continually takes part in. Step 1 is a false claim about me is made, or a statement about something I've said with no proof or reference. Oftentimes, this might be a chatter saying, "Hey Vaush, did you hear when Destiny said XYZ?" or a tweet claiming I've said or done something. Number 2, a character explanation will be given for why I've done the thing I did not do. Of course Destiny said this. It's because he's transphobic, arrogant, racist, sociopathic, etc. Number 3, this claim will echo and reverberate throughout the community. Ian's community will listen to, agree with, and repeat back his characterization of me as they discuss why I am the kind of person who would do the kind of thing that I did not actually do. Number 4, this new demonic caricature will become the reference for future attacks. Remember when Destiny said XYZ, guys? Where the thing that's being remembered is not actually the thing I've said or done, but the initial false claim. A copy without a reference, or simulacrum, if you will. Let's look at some examples for how claims are made and exaggerated. Notice that, in contrast to my treatment of Ian, he will almost never have the original video or tweet on screen to engage with what's actually being discussed. Instead, it's almost always a caricature or his memory of another caricature of what I've said. Also, sometimes the exaggerations are not huge, but they're just slight enough to slowly change the representations of things I've said over time to slowly morph me into a monster. Example 1. Ian misrepresents an entire Twitter chain for the purpose of making me look ridiculous. Almost nothing said here is true.
You who don't remember, there was this lady on Twitter who just tweeted, not at anyone, not in response to anything, just not even in this circle, just a person on Twitter who tweeted that she'd been raped like several times and essentially asked men to not do that. And then Mindwaves, who's like adjacent to Destiny, I don't really know, tweeted some snarky shit at that. And then Destiny jumped in and said something about how, like, if she wasn't strong enough to speak up to the guys who were raping her, then it ended with him calling her like a retarded child for not having the strength of character to speak up to a rapist or whatever. Like, out of nothing. Like, again, this was just some random... And
almost nothing said here is true. She hadn't initially tweeted that she'd been raped several times. She said, "A dude slipped his condom off during sex after I asked him to wear one this week, and it's been bothering me, but I was too awkward to say anything. Not even the first time this has happened. Stop doing this, man." I never said you needed to be strong enough to stand up to guys raping you. I said, if you're noticing someone is taking a condom off and you can't say anything, you probably don't have the emotional maturity to engage in sex. You should just grab a caretaker or something and stick to masturbating to furry porn. Sorry, and that's a response not even to the girl, but to somebody else. I never called her a retarded child. I quote tweeted one of my own tweets and said, if you are noticing someone is taking a condom off and you can't say anything, you probably don't have the emotional maturity to sex. And then the quote tweet was, "Sorry, I want to apologize for my last tweet. You should treat every single woman you come across like a retarded child who's incapable of voicing an opinion about literally anything. Ideally, you would bring her dad along to every fuck so that he can guide her through the process." Ian goes on to spend minutes recounting an entire set of tweets and convos, yet never shows an original video or tweet once.
Tell, don't show, never show. Showing is for the gays. This is Sharia law storytelling, and you will speak when fucking spoken to.
Vaush treats his audience like they're stupid. I mean, they follow political streamers, so he's not that far off. But what I'm trying to say here is, most YouTubers usually give proof of their claims. Like, if I told my audience Vaush was a three-headed panda bear that shoots chocolate milk out of his breasticles, you'd probably ask for evidence to this, okay? If I were Vaush, though, I'd say the same thing, but about Destiny, and follow it up with a "trust me, bro." Anyone in chat that actually investigated this and said that I was full of it, I'd say that Destiny was gaslighting you. Which, again, was in the video I just referenced, not the three-headed chocolate milk breasticle thing. The Vaush said Destiny was gaslighting him. I don't know why I wrote that in the script. I figured I needed to clarify that last point. Anyway, he usually wins debates by debating people with weak or non-existent social skills, and his arguments are some of the worst I've ever seen. Like, you could say the grass is green, and he'd be like, "Actually, the perception to one individual's eyesight is proportional to the reflection of light cascading through the lens of one's eye sockets, giving the perception that it's green, but it's not actually green." If you didn't notice, he also uses big words to give the appearance that he's smarter than he actually is. This comes into play later, so I want everyone to understand something. Vaush is dumb as a sack of rocks. You see this in his debates, you see this in his arguments, you see this everywhere. He's dumb as a sack of rocks. A literal sack of rocks. I'd like to apologize to sacks of rocks everywhere. I know it's not your fault to be compared to the dumbest political streamer out there. I apologize. That's my bad. But, I have to make some similarities here and there. He'll say things like, because child slavery exists, we're all okay with it. CPs should exist as well. And I'll say that again for those having a hard time to digest what I'm saying here. Because child slavery, child exploitation exists, we should all be okay with CP, and that it should be legalized because we're all okay with child slavery. And, yeah. It didn't make sense the first time I heard this either. We're all either too stupid to understand the argument, or, and this is important here, Vaush is a retard. Now, I know this might be risking my YouTube career here, but I think Vaush might actually be a little autistic, a little retarded, okay? Call me crazy. I don't know, just something gives me that kind of impression that Vaush might actually be retarded.
Pedophiles, right, who buy child pornography, would you say they should not be held responsible for doing that?
Yes.
Really? Even though they're directly supporting child rape?
Yeah, I think it's hypocritical. If I bought my computer and the silicon in it was farmed in Africa by slaves, if I can do that and that's legal and no one's going to call me out on my shit, then yeah, I have to be consistent in that respect.
Okay, look, I think there's levels to this. So I wouldn't equate buying a computer to buying child pornography.
The thing is, even though Vaush has bad arguments, his own audience listens and gobbles it up, and he gets away with it all the time. This goes to his arguments on CP, where he seemingly defended CP in the past, because silicon in your computer was built with child labor, or chocolate exists because of child labor, or because cobalt mining is done with, again, child labor. He uses this argument to make a point of saying child labor is bad, but uses CP as a way to defend his point that child labor is bad. This is what I call an apples and oranges fallacy. What do you mean by that, you ask?
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the other by the time I finish this song?
This is where I think that sometimes Vaush doesn't have bad takes. He has nuclear takes. When quarantine was enacted, Chernobyl wept. My argument to Vaush is, yes, you can make chocolate without the use of a child. You can mine cobalt without the use of a child. But you can't make CP without having a child be exploited. It's in the name, for fuck's sakes! It's child porn! How? I'm sorry, but how do you not see the difference? The fact that Vaush can't distinguish between the two is genuinely concerning. The fact of the matter is, Vaush thinks we're all thinking about this in a blown out of context meaning. Like his CP stance is somehow being misrepresented. And no, it's not. We understand what you're trying to say, Vaush. We do. We understand. You are making a very edgy, retarded take. We understand that. We do. We really do. I genuinely do. I'm reading off the script here because I'm a little bit upset. Shut up. Anyway, the point is, here, Vaush, we understand what you're saying. We did. We understood back then. We understood the 5 times you've explained it before. We understood it. We weren't taking you out of context then. We're not taking you out of context now. You had dumb takes. We understand that. And I get that this is 5 years old, and you've explained this over and 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 over again, like a broken record. But maybe, and I'm just putting this one out there. I'm just putting this one out there, buddy. Maybe there was, I don't know, an argument that you could have made that didn't make you sound like a pedophile. I'm just throwing that out there. Genuinely. Maybe. I know. Call me. I'm insane. I have insane takes. This is really insane. This is a Chernobyl level take. Maybe you could have made arguments against child slave labor that did not make you sound like a fuck all pedo. That's what we call a mic drop. Before I dive into this, I want to explain some terminology, because I usually attract a normie Chad audience, so we all need to know what the fuck I'm going to be talking about here, okay? When we're talking about lolly, it's a term known as drawn art depicting a child in a sexual situation. And yes, I think I had a mini barf moment as I said that. Yeah. Fuck me. Just, a term we're going to need to be familiar with as we dive down this giant tube filled with cum and degeneracy. Lots and lots of cum and degeneracy. Why is there so much cum? Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's even on the ceiling at this point. How did you get that shit on the ceiling? Holy fuck.
Here it is.
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to. What?
Now,
the sound.
Now, is that how the stream ended?
I'm not 100% sure. When people were posting it on Twitter, that's how they labeled it. But
I think if I remember, I think it cut to a holding card, some sort of static holding card for a moment, and then it ended shortly after that.
So one more time. So this is
how
it
ended. This is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
What?
That's a face of a man who knows. Now, traditionally, we've caught conservatives' porn stash. It happened to Alex Jones, and also happened
famously, yes.
to what's that other shitbag that was friends with Kanye? Fuentes. They were both had trans porn. Yeah, Fuentes was looking at trans porn.
Oh, there was a trans thing with him too?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But so I was saying yesterday, the left
loves Hitler.
So on the right, they want to, they're chasers, I think they call them. They want to be with trans women.
Right.
On the left, they want to fuck horses.
H3H3, a podcast that is run by Ethan Klein. And I've talked about him in the past. Content Nuke. Decent video. Just saying. Shameless plug. just in case you want to watch it. Third most viewed video on my platform. You know, just saying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, you know. Anyway, the H3H3 podcast covered the Vaush's porn folder leak, and Ethan being himself was making jokes at Vaush's expense. And yes, Vaush's porn folder leaked to the general public. That's a thing now. Yay. Here's the point, and I'm just finding this out as I type this, but it wasn't just horse porn, it wasn't just lolly. It was both. By that I mean, it was a lolly getting pegged by a horse. And I'm just... I don't know. I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed Vaush managed to cross cringe with even more fucking cringe. Of course, his defense was very rock solid. Why, you could say there wasn't a single argument you could make to destroy his invincible fortress of defense here.
I don't like it's this is one of the reasons why stuff like this is impossible to clarify, because even talking about it comes across as like crazy defensive or whatever, right? But what else am I supposed to do? Let people like Ethan Klein lie and say that it was all like a folder full of lolicon, or just explain it, you know? Anyway, one of the two images just flatly didn't look like lolly. I don't give a shit. Like cope, I just don't care. Like disingenuous shit, you know? The other one is like a threesome with two chicks and a guy, and in retrospect, looking at it, knowing now that that artist is a lolicon, yeah, I can see it. When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like the way like goblins get drawn in porn. You'll have to entertain me for a moment on this presumed shared knowledge of how goblins get drawn in pornography. But you know how they're all like thick short stacks, right? That was the vibe that I got, because in the image, the girl that's shown has super thick legs and has like tits and a belly. So that's just the vibe I got. But now knowing that the artist is a lolicon, which I have been roundly reminded of, obviously knowing that it was intended to be a lolly drawing. So like, that's how it is, right? It's a drawing, you get it without context. I know that when I saved them because both the drawings have like a meaty dick in it, and I'm a huge size queen. So like, you look at it in retrospect and it's like, okay, well now with the broader context, I can understand how it comes off that way. Even if initially or like at first glance, the vibe would be more thick short stack. But you'll notice, has anything that I've just said sounded like it would even remotely convince the kind of people who are intent on smearing me over this?
Did I say rock solid, invincible argument? I meant to say it was a fiery turd that fell off a cliff. It was goblin porn, you guys. It totally wasn't a drawing of a horse fucking a kid. We're all just too fucking stupid to realize it. Clearly, Vaush, it's our bad. I'm sorry. I guess we should close up shop and end the video now. Real quick though, can we see the picture in question? I see. If you excuse me, I'll need to douse my eyes in gasoline, then light them on fire. I'll be right back. Ah! Bruv! How is this fucking not lolly? It's normal skin tone. No, you're right. My bad. Goblins are usually green and don't look like fucking children. We're just not right in the head. Clearly goblins look like 14-year-olds. By the way, that was sarcasm. Holy fuck, you showed lolly. And your best defense was, hey guys, it's goblin porn. It's goblin porn. Which is a whole different conversation we need to be having, by the way. Not only do we have horse and lolly, but you also admitted you're jerking it to goblin porn. Well done, sir. Your degeneracy knows no bounds. Next, we're going to find out you're jerking it to trans grannies. Probably with giant horse cocks, too. Dear Lord, if you hear me, please, kill me now.
Lolly got a sense for you. Creepy guys are on the loose, what do you do? You're not a normal person. Just please go away from me. Lovely, lolly got a sense for you. When I ring spell, there's nothing you can do. I love my kind of wonderful. My amazing Oni-tons. Please go rest in peace.
future poofers here. My exhaustive research has led me to find this image in his XXX folder. Just drink this image. Drink it in. Slurp it down. Yeah. This is coming from an anime called Stocking and Panty. I think it's Stocking and Panty Anarchy. I don't know. I just read Stocking and Panty and my brain went into shutdown mode after trying to read beyond that. I want to add, if Vaush is watching an anime called Stocking and Panty, something tells me Tacoma did not, in fact, weep. Maybe this is actually the closest Vaush has ever gotten to pussy, and that Tacoma joke was actually him coping. Something is just giving me those vibes. I don't know what could make me come to that conclusion. I don't know. Really don't. Don't know what could make me come even close to that. No clue. Not one. Jesus Christ, I can smell this image. The anime story itself is somewhat of a comedy, much like Teen Titans. Unlike Teen Titans, however, it deals with themes of sex. So, context. I did my homework here, and apparently, Stocking and Panty are sometimes drawn as full-grown adults. So, again, context. However, they're mostly drawn throughout the series as lolly. So, context. I saw something on KF I will not be showing here, not because it isn't censored, it is. Thank fuck, my brain can only take so many tumors in one day. But I'm not showing it because I can't verify the image. Were I able, it would be the centerpiece. But unlike Vaush, I do have some integrity. Not a lot, mind you, but enough so that people won't hang myself like the giant horsecock Vaush is into. Instead, I will leave this to interpretation. Does Vaush have a third image of Lolly on his computer? Or is that the adult version? I get I've tainted things a bit, but again, my audience has what I'd call fucking brains, and can make informed decisions on their own. There's another thing I'd like to point out here. Vaush had a whole segment on his video on the whole horse thing. I can't keep down my lunch with all the weird cum-stained internet bullshit I had to wade through. You want to watch that? Go ahead. There's only so much horsecock I can take in one video. I just think it's weird, okay? And if Vaush likes jerking it to horses, far be it from me to stop him. I mean, it's a step up from Lolly, I guess, but, like, I don't know. He's got so many fans listening to him about horsecock. If that's all it takes to make a successful YouTube channel, far be it from me to judge. Moving on, I'd like to point out that Vaush didn't even watch H3H3's podcast on him. He also made a video where he refused to watch the video in question and relied on his audience to tell him what Ethan Klein had said. You don't argue a video you've never seen before, I might add. This is something that destroys reputations. Obviously, he's done this as described previously regarding Destiny, but he's done this multiple times before. Vaush, however, is all like, fuck it, I'll wing it. This isn't complicated, it's just politics. Clearly, accurate information isn't very important here. I'll just make shit up like I always do. Hey guys, police own rocket launchers that home in on black people. That won't get me in trouble or affect my credibility in any way, shape, or form. Nope. Obviously, I'm being a bit hyperbolic here, but you get my point. Do your homework. Don't rely on your chat to give you information. If you do, you'll look like a complete fucking idiot. Stop it. Get some help. Okay? Like, I feel like the Michael Jordan PSA right now. Not even kidding. Not even kidding. Like, why would you do this? Why would you endanger your own credibility? This is why he goes out there and says, well, Destiny is gaslighting me because he's showing evidence and proof to my bullshit claims, you guys. Blah! And he's done this multiple times. He's done this multiple times before. Jesus Christ. I'm not even a Destiny fan! Oh my god. I had to look up, like, a few videos that Destiny has thrown out on Vaush. The amount of bullshit. Breathe in, poofers. Breathe in. You've got this. Like, I've never wanted to watch Destiny in my entire life, but Vaush makes me want to watch Destiny. Ugh! Again! I can't get clean. Next up, we've got to touch upon the sheer hubris of Vaush. The fact that he can stand here and say, hey guys, it's an election year. I'm just going to avoid this drama because we need to get Biden elected. And no, that's what he said.
What's your plan moving forward from this? I'm just going to keep doing what look, I like the politics. I'm not, none of the, look, I've said this before, and I feel like maybe it comes across as conceited, but it's also true. A lot of people legitimately could not handle this level of stress. The eye of so many people of such hatred and scrutiny, and obviously it is stressful. But I love the game. I do it for the love of the game, okay? I'm out here with 15 injuries on the bench, but I love playing ball. I like streaming. You know, I'm not going to let this nonsense deter me. We're coming up on, well, we're not coming up on, we're in an election year. You know, there's work to be done. There's stuff to cover. There's opinions to offer. You know, it's important.
That's right. A vote for Biden is a vote for Lolly. You get a horse cock, and you get a horse cock, and you get a horse cock, and you get a horse cock for everyone. I swear Vaush is the kind of person to be all like, I've got a date with a jar of peanut butter, my dog, and my dick. I'm not sorry for that mental image that I've now burned into your skull. Oh, real quick, some of you are wondering why I called this segment Porn Folder and Taxes. Well, that's because his tax folder was next to his porn folder. Just something everyone seems to be pointing out, and it's really funny. I mean, when I think of jerking it, I can't help but lube up and think about my W-2s and what return I'm going to get. Again, you're welcome for that mental image. Tipster, Keffels, and even Jalen are no strangers to controversy. To give you a general idea as to why these three are controversial, I'll do a quick rundown. Jalen is a racist, and I don't just mean unironically either. Jalen is the type of person to always dress up as a ghost for Halloween, even when it's not Halloween. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I hope so, because there is just so many racist innuendos I can throw out there. Next up, we have Keffels. She claimed that Kiwi Farms, a website dedicated to laughing at lol cows, was doxing her. In response, she took down the website for a few days, and then it came back up. All she did was kick over a hornet's nest, because they were not happy. They really were not happy. Like, the Eye of Sauron on fucking Keffels is now permanently fixated on her. You have no idea. Literal Eye of Sauron. Oh my god. Not even kidding. If she sneezes, they talk about it. So, yeah. Enjoy the rest of your YouTube career. It's going to be fun. She then got a bunch of donations for a lawsuit she never filed against the police in her own town. Then proceeded to use donations for nose candy.
Remember, kids, don't do drugs. I'm just saying, okay, it's not a good thing. Don't do it. It's not good. Okay, it'll lead you down a dark path. Okay, don't do crack cocaine. It's not good for you. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't do it. Okay, stay in school. Be good to your teachers, and just don't do crack. Don't do crack. It's not good. Okay.
Finally, we have Tipster, and where do I even start? Some of the worst things he's done is defend Lolly in the past, so again, not really a surprise we're mentioning him now. He stabbed Bo Blacks in the back, a former friend, and accused someone of suicide baiting because they didn't kill themselves. Oh, he also defended Bad Baby, even though there was little to no proof of her claim, and I just want to put that last one out there. So now that I've briefly talked about these three people, let's start with Jalen. Trust me, it won't take long.
Ethan Klein has completely lost it. So yesterday, Ethan Klein pretty much ran a hit piece on Vaush. Recently, on stream, Vaush would leak his corn folder. And within this folder, there was a couple images that looked a bit sus. They looked like they could have been lolly.
22 seconds in and I'm already stopping. Jalen, kinda sus? Did it look like this, maybe?
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
Which you don't know what that is. It's basically like animated drawn images of children. I'll be having a full stream segment coming out about that soon. But from the looks of it, it seems most likely that Vaush accidentally downloaded that image and had no idea that it was lolicon.
Accidentally. It was a horse fucking a child. I don't know, Jalen. Something tells me, knowing Vaush's vices, it wasn't accidental. I don't know what could tip that off.
There was only one image within that folder that looked like it could have been lolicon.
Except the later, he admitted it was 2 images. We might actually possibly have a third, but again, can't verify it. It could be the adult version, could be the kid version. Don't know.
On every other image, all the anime girls in there, they all look to be of age. And it can be hard to tell, depending on the art style and the way certain artists draw these characters.
You're right. I forgot the art style. I didn't take that into account because it was a horse rage-pounding a minor, Jalen. Not to mention, Vaush admitted it was lolly. So, yeah.
And what was regarded as a kind of funny moment by most of Vaush's community when they saw that folder has spiraled into something that it really isn't, with people like Keemstar claiming that Vaush is a basically. And Ethan Klein did this hit piece stream where he basically brought up a bunch of old Vaush clips out of context.
Apparently, he has a colorful history of saying really bizarre, creepy, weird...
Wrong again. If you watched the stream like you clipped, Jalen, you'd know they gave full context. So, which is it? You're either lying, or you didn't watch the video, which, I mean, it seems to be a running theme to Vaush's defenders. They don't watch what they defend. Kind of like Vaush, actually. They don't fact-check anything. Why fact-check anything? Why fact-check anything? Why bother with that shit? Why fact-check when you could just spew garbage out of your mouth? I don't know. Literal garbage. Literal garbage. I don't think we need to continue to watch this garbage fire any longer. It's very apparent why people gave Jalen shit. Before someone claims I'm clipping him uncharitably, I want everyone to know this. It was the first minute of Jalen's stream. The first minute. The actual, unironic first minute. Jalen isn't good at this. And quite frankly, being either a liar or bad faith actor is probably why this argument fell apart, before it even got off the ground. Let's have our next contestant take to bat though, shall we? Keffels, don't disappoint me now. What have you got for me?
Yahoo!
Never mind! I didn't think you'd fail faster than Jalen, but wow! You did! Congrats! For those not in the know, that was Tony, I covered in the past in the content nuke that I spoke of on Ethan Klein. I stand by everything I said in that video, by the way. However, I didn't make a dedication to Tony because, I don't know, I have fucking principles. And I find using dead people to forward an agenda disgusting. Keffels apparently doesn't care. No, I think the reason I have this segment is for one man. The top G, as it were. The one, the only, the gelatinous Tipster. You remember Tipster, right? From my last video, 7 months ago? I really need to stop taking long-ass breaks. Well, a lot has happened since then. First off, Tipster grew a vagina. So, there's that. He also got sand in it multiple times. He defended Mr. Beast's co-host for having a picture of Lolly from Shadman. For those of you who don't know, don't look up Shadman. Just don't. You'll regret it. I know some of you will. Just say no to Shad, okay? Anyway, Tipster's been a bit busy, and I thought I'd make a mini video into the fun that is Tipster's sad online career thus far. In my last video, I mentioned that there was a mod from his community that came forward. We all remember that. Well, there was another one who came forward. I had a convo with this guy, and it turns out Tipster took over the fan Discord. The worst part, he didn't inform people that he did in fact do this. Yeah, Yeah, so people were using his fan Discord and were still under the impression it was run by the fans until the Discord was yeeted, which Tipster has a tendency to do. He deletes everything because he can't have mean comments made against him. You can't criticize the tip, lads. If you do, the tip gets soft. We can't have the soft tip. Soft tip is bad, okay? Hard tip good, soft tip bad. We fast forward to today, and once again, we see Tipster defending the undefensible. Here's a clip of me losing my collective shit.
Just so I can make a quick buck on the internet. As somebody who is friends with an artist who draws goblin porn, the funny thing is I knew exactly what Vaush was talking.
This, Tipster, is why I have a problem with you. Right? As someone who looks at goblin porn, oh, so you know exactly what he's talking about then. Like with normal skin tones and everything. So you jerk off the lolly then! Is that what you're fucking saying, Tipster? It sounds like that's what you're fucking saying, Tipster! This is why I have a problem with you! Why? Why would you defend this? Why? Just give me don't say that actually me and Vaush are friends. Actually, I actually like lolly. Say that! Because that's what it sounds like! Jesus Christ! Yeah. Tipster defended Vaush in the worst way possible. Not that there's a good way to defend Vaush, I just want to point that out. Yeah, I'd like to point out that if Keffels, Tipster, and Jalen had not defended or attempted to defend Vaush, we probably would have been talking about Too Mad or something else by now. Instead, they prolonged the pain that Vaush had to deal with because all three of them suck at commentary. They suck at defending, they suck at attacking, they suck at knowing what the fuck they're talking about, they suck in general. About the only thing that they don't suck at is the thing that Vaush sucks a lot at, which is horsecock. Raging, pounding horsecock. Seriously, what's up with that? Wow, like, so much horsecock. So, why are we talking about Tipster and Keffels now, though? They had their say. Commentary laughed at them. And you think that would be it. However, Keemstar had a few things to say about this on his show. He wanted to get both Keffels and Tipster on to try to get their side of the story. Maybe change their point of view. Tipster blocked him from his chat and said, "Be gone, demon!"
Team, you're not welcome in my chat. This is my chat is my fucking house. And you're not welcome here, you bald dome bastard. Get the fuck out.
And Keffels wanted to pass go and collect $200, which wasn't happening.
Yeah.
200 up front and I'll pop on.
I
200? No, bro. That's you're not worth 200. 50 is all you get.
Right now. We don't.
Yeah. In fact, the more time you spend, that goes down to $40, then 30, then 20, then 10, and then.
Yeah, that's more than our.
They
give you for free. Yeah, it's probably more than the editor makes. Like, you better edit it if you're getting that kind of money.
You are a bold pedophile, he says.
Dude, and that's what she was going to do. She was going to come on.
I think that's your.
She called me a bald pedophile.
Let's read this conversation out loud. All right. Keffels, pick up. Tipster, Keffels, pick up. She goes, 1 second. I go, so Keffels, you're joining and Tipster won't? Odd, bring your boy. She goes, 1 second. L. I go, question mark. She goes, firing up PC to join. I say, you have 10 minutes. Then I say, you have 3 minutes. And she goes, what's in it for me? Let's discuss payment. No one is paying you. Then Muta generously offers way overpriced.
And she brings up a 2022 tweet about me quitting Twitter. Well, how is your ratioing going on Twitter?
Muta offers $50. She brings up the Twitter. Wing says, come on and talk about it. Keffels responds, I feel you. No one ever does. And I say, so are you running away? Confirmed. She goes, 200 up front and I'll pop on. I said, no one is paying you. She responds, you're a bald pal. So let's be clear. Keffels is afraid to have this conversation. She is running. But on top of that, her value as being a guest speaker, and this is the value she put on herself, is $200.
This is probably due to the fact that they got their asses whooped by Augie a while back, and maybe it left a bad taste in their mouths, or maybe, and this is a big one, but maybe they're just cowards and would rather run and hide instead of defending themselves. Maybe running their mouths and not defending their arguments is a good idea in their heads nowadays. It would be a first for Tipster, though. It would really be a first. He'd probably argue with you on Twitter, but on YouTube, nope, can't do it, can't do it. Like, the Tip has his tip tucked between his leg. Get it? Because he's Tipster. Okay. Shut up. Like, here's the thing. Keffels, Tipster, and Jalen could have said nothing. Silence is golden, after all. Instead, they needed to defend the undefensible, and ended up damaging what's left of their reputations in the process. Granted, they didn't have the highest reputations to begin with. I mean, the bar was ground level, and somehow they managed to grab a shovel. I'm going to be transparent. I've defended Tipster in the past over rum. My argument wasn't whether this is lolly. My argument is liking random tweets doesn't make you a pedo. Much easier argument to win. Same with lyrics. In that case, him liking tweets of fully clothed cartoon pictures doesn't make you a pedo by proxy. I stand by that. That's how you make a solid defense. That's all it is. That's what you do. The difference between those situations and this one is the fact that Vaush admitted to owning lolly, which, after salting my eyes, lighting them on fire, and pouring a healthy dose of alcohol on them, I'm able to verify that the images are in fact lolly. You have to understand, the images weren't that clear. They were miniaturized icons and blurry at that. And here's the thing. I didn't need to do any of that, because Vaush admitted to owning lolly. Not even once, but twice! There is no charitability I or anyone else can give him.
Of course, we know where this is going. By the next day, I had learned from what felt like the entire goddamn internet that two of the images in my folder preview window were actually from a well-known lolicon artist, and therefore definitely intended to be lolly shit, which has to be the worst possible way to find out about that sort of thing.
Game, set, match! It's Jover! Goodbye! See you later. Case motherfucking closed. I don't need to get Scooby-Doo for this one. Stick and fork in it. It's done. Vaush is done. No Sherlocks here. We really don't. No investigation needed. Vaush is done. There's no way I can make the Extreme Dad situation funny. So, here's a picture of a seahorse. If Vaush is watching, please try to maintain your composure. I get that you think this is a merhorse, and you're fantasizing about merhorse action, getting all hot and sweaty, but think of the children browsing your NSFW Discord for once, and jerk off after streaming. Yeah, I'm not sorry for the equestrian-themed nightmares my audience is going to have after watching this, considering some of them are going to be Vaush's hate watchers, though, now that I think of it, they'll probably get off on all the horse innuendos I've made. Maybe all I've succeeded in doing is making them horny at this point. Who knows? What I do know is that Vaush is a hypocrite, and it's how he's a hypocrite we're finally going to get into on the whole point of this spooge of a video. Thank fuck. We need to talk about the Extreme Dad hypocrisy, or situation that both Vaush and Xanderhal put themselves into. For those who don't know, Extreme Dad is a veteran, and it's possible something may have happened to him overseas. He has a hard time communicating or explaining things to others. A good example would be Tommy having a conversation with Extreme Dad for over 5 hours and couldn't get Extreme Dad to give him the info. We're talking about a guy who got into an argument with a soundboard.
Oh God, no! Extreme Dad, you're on the air.
Listen, fuckhead.
Listen, fuckhead. You better pick up.
What's going on, my man?
Not much. So what's your take?
Well, actually, you don't have Nick in here today, and I wish you did because.
Okay.
Do you know who? Oh, Nick's in here. Oh, hey. What's up?
Yeah. Go ahead. So go ahead and drop him on.
You know Xanderhal?
Yes.
Okay.
So, funny thing is, I had a similar bit where I went and debated Xanderhal, and I kind of came on and I was like, what's up? I did my thing, you know what I mean? And then everything was chill and everything was fine. And then him and his friend Vaush decided to make up this conspiracy that I was a pedophile, right? And like totally listen, hear me out. Not like misinterpreted some shit, like made something up. And so I just think that like that's kind of commonplace, you know what I mean? In these like communities. And so like and I find you personally responsible for that, Nick.
Neighbor.
I just think that you personally, you platformed Xander Hall. You didn't even call him out on that shit. You know, like, how are you going to do that, bro? That's pretty fucked up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Did you get what you wanted to say off your chest?
You actually, dude, you actually fucking left him speechless. You might have won for once.
Yeah, Jesus.
What do you have to say for your
Where
victory?
are you, Nick? What's the matter?
Listen, I'm aware that it was a Nick soundboard. Okay, I just.
Oh yeah, right. Why did you tell the soundboard to go off then? You just watch the chat, you dipshit. Who are you kidding? Sure.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I do want to.
Shit. No, let's hear it. Go on.
I can't help it. I was laughing my fucking ass off. I was tearing up.
Yeah, let's hear it. Go ahead.
Dad, and you were a legend before, and I'm gonna give it to you. This is getting clipped. I'll tell you that shit right now.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I was laughing so hard. All right. This is getting clipped, and because you have made incredible calls over the last 6 months, I bestowed known fuckhead, which is well deserved, on you, fuckhead. Congratulations, Dad. You are now a SFTP legend.
Thank you. It means a lot to me.
I bet it does.
During that video, by the way, Extreme Dad was trying to explain that he was accused of being a pedo by both Vaush and Xander Hall. This led to a video by a creator known as Will, which went down in detail that happened. The gist is, though, Extreme Dad was banned from Destiny server for sexting a 14-year-old. The problem is, it was an entire setup. Look, I know this video is becoming a bit long. We're going to cut it up a bit with some commentary in between, but it's very important to know something ahead of time. The person who set up Extreme Dad admitted to the setup and apologized to Extreme Dad. Another important fact is, although Vaush may not have known at first that Extreme Dad was set up, after the D&D stream, it's very likely he was informed in DMs that it was fake. Or, well, a short time after. I have to preface this by saying this was all done by Will's research. He did some amazing legwork here. So we're going to go through this video again. It's a bit long, but we're going to trim it up a bit, and I've added some commentary here and there, lads.
Remember, conservatives are all Nazi fascists, so the other social rejects in Vaush's Discord took it upon themselves to frame Dad as a pedo. Life ruination's okay if you're a conservative. A known 27-year-old woman in Vaush's community tried to flirt with Dad in DMs. They talked kinky. Then she tries to get him. I look like most 14-year-olds, haha. You okay with that? Dad responds, if you're under the age of 18, I wouldn't be okay with a sexual relationship with you. She says, I like sexual relationships. How old are you? 14. And Dad destroys her with, well then I suggest you seek some constructive lifestyle choices and spend less time exploiting other people with your fake ass bullshit. She acts confused, and he says, this is the way people act over there, huh? Yeet, and then he blocked her. Dad handled it like a champ, right? Well, that didn't stop Vaush's community, his girlfriend, and Vaush himself from running with the narrative that this guy's a pedo.
There's the evidence, all there black and white, 4K and whatever else. Extreme Dad is innocent. That should be game over if Extreme Dad could communicate better. I think this drama probably would have been squashed before it got anywhere that it did. Unfortunately, I don't think he's a great communicator. And when you argue with a soundboard, it doesn't cement great intellect either. I'm sorry, Ed. I calls it as I sees it. I don't think you can help it.
First, Bunny Mew. There are 0 surviving logs. Second, Destiny. There are full chat logs available. Third, Xander Hall. Full chat logs available. Fourth, Vaush. During the events of this investigation, I was blocked and have not been able to gain access since. I will be attempting to show the fullest logs that I have available with dates, times, etc. revealed when possible. On September 23rd, 2019, About 3 weeks after the alleged sexting, it appears that one of the mods on Destiny's server got wind of something and started searching for Extreme Dad's previous offenses on the server. The bot command here used by the mod was for his rap sheet. We then see her try and ban Extreme Dad, who is deleted user here. She used more than 200 characters and it didn't work. Extreme Dad was there in the chat when he saw the ban attempt. He messages, ? After another quick bot command, Extreme Dad was banned with the reason of protecting minors in the server, see reg chat for reasoning. People were confused. Why was Extreme Dad getting banned? Show screenshots. The justification was soon revealed. The same mod that banned him, TLDR, he has been sexting a 14-year-old. We don't want this behavior on the server, so it's a preventative ban. It keeps going and going, reinforcing itself without anyone actually taking the time to see the full chat log. Extreme Dad even goes to the trouble of messaging someone explaining that it's someone setting up right-wingers. The people on DGG are split from the onset. Some people say that it's cringe to ban people over screenshots, and other people are just reinforcing the same false pedo claims over and over again without any evidence or context. I've messaged many people in the thread individually, and most of them don't even remember if they had anything at the time. It was just mass hysteria. It became an event on the server at the time to take part in the ensuing Extreme Dad drama. Destiny even went on to read the message logs on stream, further strengthening the false narrative, but sadly this clip no longer exists anywhere on the internet. The day Destiny reads the messages live on stream, Extreme Dad DMs Destiny and asks for a ban appeal, which was granted by the man himself on the 25th of September. But 2 days later, he was banned again for threatening to kill Destiny and other members of the server, which Extreme Dad admits was true, and not his best moment. Now up until this moment, this has been some online harassment and a minor cancel in the grand scheme of things. Hell, even if you get completely canceled online, most people still have a real life to escape to. When people online find out personal information about your real life and use it to harass friends, family, and employers, then the online harassment turns into something much more sinister, called doxing. You will see this sentiment expressed a lot. All conservatives are pedophiles. Pedophilic tendencies are a key to the Republican Party, and who cares what happens? They're conservative anyways. There is objectively a huge pedophilia problem on Discord, and people get a lot of clout and vindication online when they catch a predator successfully, so there is great incentive to do this, especially for those on the left who believe in the ideology above. That being said, the only thing they caught on September 7th was an awkward turbo nerd.
Remember this, there's incentive, meaning that you are rewarded, including victims of abuse. This usually means if you're starting a YouTube or social media channel, you can be boosted as a victim. This doesn't mean that all victims are lying or that all victims want to get something. I'm merely stating that sometimes people do the right thing for the wrong reason. Or people do the wrong thing for the wrong reasons. But, well, everyone is different. My stance has been, instead of taking this to social media, the police is a 3-digit call away. Probably better to do that than to go to social media about abuse. Hashtag just saying.
And the next person, Extreme Dad, who is a pedophile, has my picture as his profile. That's nice. I like that. Anyway, holy shit. Every single time... He actually is a pedophile. We have banned him from our, I'm not joking, Extreme Dad, we banned him from our Discord server because he was flirting with 14-year-old girls saying like, something like, you know, I can be your daddy, you know, I go rough or some shit like that, knowing that they were 14. We had to ban him from the server for that. We've got screen caps, logs, everything. It's incontrovertible. Anyway, so a fun harem of pedophiles and the mentally ill here in the SpreadTube Kiwi Farms thread.
5 days later, on October 10th, Vaush makes the first statement on his livestream regarding the allegation against Extreme Dad, something that Extreme Dad is feeling the consequences of to this day. Later that day, Xanderhall shares Extreme Dad's Twitter account on Discord with the message, "Extreme Dad is on Twitter. Have fun, guys." The only person of any redeeming quality that day was one of the older mods on Xanderhall's server. As Xanderhall, along with Vaush's girlfriend Hyena, were slandering Extreme Dad with no basis, Futaba attempts to red pill the server into not accepting the false allegation, and clipped screenshots without context. Back and forth it goes between Futaba and Hyena, who says that she has sent the same logs to Xanderhall that she gave to Vaush, with context. Xanderhall then goes on to claim that he knows the chat log is fake, and that Extreme Dad was caught talking to 14-year-olds on Destiny's server. Well, I mean, I just showed you all the chat logs and ban info that was related to Extreme Dad, and I extensively searched around for his deleted user for the 3 months that it was recorded he was on Destiny's Discord. I found 0 messages to corroborate this, and obviously, Xanderhall didn't take the time to research this. Xanderhall confirms himself, I just have what Destiny said. Well, then, I guess that just makes you a liar, Xanderhall, because Destiny didn't say anything, and actually unbanned and exonerated Extreme Dad himself, as proven earlier. Hyena with the amazing hot take, all conservatives fuck kids, so... Imagine caring to defend Extreme Dad, lol W, right? I mean, like, imagine wanting to stick up for a nerd that you're just, like, baselessly slandering across multiple Discord channels for no reason, other than, don't you know that conservatives rape kids, lol cow raffle? Hyena with just the really weird comment here. I'm only here because of the tweet. I might just block him so he can't stalk Vaush through me. Now, like, I really can't tell, like, if she means Xanderhall or Extreme Dad here. Because if she's talking about Xanderhall stalking Vaush, I think it's a weird comment to make, because 3 days later, Xanderhall is playing D&D online with Vaush for several hours. We can only speculate what they talked about behind the scenes, but 6 days later, Vaush comes on stream to defame Extreme Dad for the last time. Someone hilariously warns Xanderhall to be careful of what he says, or he might create a hate mob, which he replies with, "Don't worry, my Twitter is small."
My whole point in this video is that Vaush knew Extreme Dad was innocent. However, we somehow have to forget all the disavows, all the edgy takes, all the lolly, and just ignore it. No. I'm sorry, but, well, Vaush doesn't give people a fair take. He throws people he doesn't like into a wood chipper, even knowing when false info is given. He goes forward with it. This might be hard to hear for Vaush's fans, but you're listening to a grifter, a false narrator whose only goal is to get you to sub, view, and even pay him to spew his rhetoric. After all, we're in an election year, lads. If we don't get the only chance to vote for Biden, who will? This is why I'm disgusted by Vaush. This is, well, why I'm so hard on him here. It's because he's so full of himself that he'd throw an innocent person out to hang for a crime he did not commit. Vaush is not a good person, and my mantra has been, I'm a terrible person who does terrible things to terrible people. Vaush is that terrible person.
Is that like, don't worry, I don't care about getting my account banned for inciting a mob because it's a new account? Or does that mean, it's okay, my Twitter is small, and it will only create a small hate mob? Just, like, a really disgusting comment from Xanderhall, regardless. Futaba, a longtime mod, mind you, bans Hyena for spreading misinformation. Xanderhall instantly tells her not to ban Hyena, stating, that's Vaush's GF. Oh no, did Hyena do something wrong that might make you fall out of Vaush's orbit? Everyone instantly comes to Hyena's defense, someone messaging her to come back almost instantly. Xanderhall tells Futaba to chill with the kicking and banning because, supposedly, people had been DMing him saying that she was abusing her powers. Futaba says Hyena is sharing stupid shit. Hyena with the amazing echo chamber response. Stupid shit that aligns with Pig Puncher's opinions, sure, Elmao. Pig invited me back. We are friends. Yeah. You and your friend have the same bad opinion. What does that matter? These messages just seethe of ideologically driven decision-making. It's almost cult-like. Conservatives bad, conservatives pedos, conservatives evil. And Futaba's last message before she leaves the server on her own will clearly fed up with the echo chamber that was slowly encapsulating Xanderhall's community. She says, see, the thing is, if someone started saying, Pig is a pedophile, everybody would go, that's baseless, where's the proof? And people might go, ugh, these dumb conservatives will believe anything that adheres to their narratives. Thing is, you apply that same careful decision to believe things based on what's proven, and dumb assholes start going, oh my god, why would you defend him, lol 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 lol. And it's dumb assholes like that, which honestly don't make it worth staying here. See ya, Space Cowboy. Sigma Stacy Futaba. Xanderhall is noticeably more bent out of shape about Futaba leaving than expected, and even comments that she was one of the first people that joined his server. Hyena, I have no clue, I just called Edie a pedo because I think he is and they got mad. Yeah, you spread a blatant lie, and someone with more balls than Xanderhall's entire server put together went against you. then realized the echo chamber that she had been trying to prevent since she had joined the server had already surrounded her. She had enough self-respect to leave the cesspit both Xanderhall and Hyena were actively promoting. Hyena, you're a sick fuck. While these events themselves are terrible, it is all downhill from here as the last remaining people of any sanity leave our story for now until the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Girl comes into the story in Arc 4. I think I've provided enough evidence to show you that Xanderhall and Hyena, two people both very close to Vaush, knew that this was fake. So it is really curious that 9 whole days later, Hyena and Xanderhall are in Vaush's live chat, defaming Extreme Dad as he is watching the stream trying to defend himself. Xanderhall, here Pig Puncher, joins and is later followed by Extreme Dad. Extreme Dad, why you gotta lie? Hyena, Extreme Dad is here to talk about kid fucking. Pig Puncher, Extreme Pedo. Literally within the first 30 seconds of Extreme Dad getting into the chat and asking Vaush why he lied about the message exchange between himself and Sia in the stream 9 days earlier, we have Hyena and Xanderhall start a dogpile on a topic that they both knew and admitted was fake. More people who clearly had heard about the drama in some fashion start joining in on the harassment. Something tangentially I find interesting that happened this stream was this interaction. Someone named Eli Rogers 12 brings up the idea that there are probably minors in Vaush's Discord that have the NSFW role, which means they are 18 plus by default.
Ellie Rogers 12, I know there are kids with the pervert role in my Discord. How could we possibly prevent that knowingly?
You know, Vaush, it's actually really simple. You don't have minors in your Discord, or you don't have NSFW rules. It's pretty straightforward. Extreme Dad, why you gotta lie? Pope Jupiter, Extreme Dad, where is the lie?
Oh wait, speaking of fucking children, hey Extreme Dad, how's your life been going lately? Any bites? Oh really, you're both gonna come at me from...
The chat starts going wild.
Wow, I didn't do that very well.
Hyena, he's gonna mauled. Pig Puncher, Extreme Dad maulding.
Oh, fuck.
Defending yourself isn't maulding. You both are just lying scumbags, and he is trying to defend himself against the weight of your combined influence. Hyena even tries to start something with someone else saying that they're into this DDLG shit too. You know, Hyena, you seem to know a lot more about this than I do. You know, before I started down this rabbit hole, I had no idea that these kinds of relationships even existed. Like, it kind of makes me curious, like, as to maybe what yours and Vaush's knowledge is on the matter. Twig Productions asks when there is going to be an Extreme Dad Exposed stream.
Extreme Dad Exposed stream when? I can't do an exposed stream when every fucking rando wants to fuck children.
Perhaps the real reason why you don't want to do an exposed stream is because you don't have any evidence, and you've known for over a week that this is fake. And now you must play the optics game for your audience, using Extreme Dad as your sacrifice. This is a repeat from earlier, but chronologically, this massive lie that helped prop up the story is dropped now.
Extreme Dad, just to clarify, just so everybody knows, we have a person in our Discord server who, occasionally, when they feel as though there might be creepos around, pretends to be 14 to see if they can bait any creepos. Doing God's work, right? I actually know this person. They're like 27. I've talked to them for quite a while, so not actually 14.
I know that Vaush pulls this straight out of his ass, because after I talked to Ciancius, she confirmed that she was never actively pedo-baiting people. This incident of her pedo-baiting Extreme Dad was the first and last time that Cia ever attempted to do something like this. I stopped to mention this because if you believe what Vaush is claiming now, that there's some sort of like organized aspect to all of this, it gives his words a lot more weight. Combined with the fact that Hyena and Xanderhall, two prominent people in the community, are egging everyone else on and adding fuel to this fire during the entire livestream. All of these lies and false rhetoric lead to some dirtbag in either Xanderhall or Vaush's community to take it upon themselves to dox Extreme Dad after this livestream. Just another muffin. Well, all conservatives want to fuck kids, so if the shoe fits, I wish I was making this shit up. Like, how are these people even cognition enough to turn on a computer?
And this was after, and this was made known only after Extreme Dad got banned from Destiny's Discord server for also apparently flirting with a 14-year-old.
Hyena here with another baseless claim that there was a different 14-year-old he was flirting with on Destiny's server. Something I have proven earlier to be false with the full chat log. Vaush parrots his girlfriend's false claim. Extreme Dad, that's a lie, Hyena.
That's a lie, Hyena. Extreme Dad, when there's smoke, there's fire, and we literally have screen caps of you doing it. Why lie to yourself? Extreme Dad, why can't you just come out and say, I'm a proud ephebophile, and I want to absolutely clap some underage cheeks?
I know we need to get through this, but where there's smoke, there's fire, Vaush. You having lolly means that you're a pedo then. Another banger argument you have to be used against you. And maybe, had you been a little bit more charitable, maybe had you actually done your research, maybe if you had shown full context of another person, you wouldn't have been in the position that you see yourself in right now. It's called a mirror, Vaush. Maybe you should use it.
Extreme Dad asks him to stop falling for everyone's bullshit. He asks Vaush to read the leaked chat log. In response, Vaush says something that you have heard and read before, that all fascists are pedos.
Why do so many fascists like kids? Because fascists are entranced with power dynamics. And sexual interest is nothing more than pathologized politics. Yeah, fascists love power and they'll scrape it by over anyone they can, even if it's a little girl. God. That's actually not a bad explanation, Zerger. I'd heard that BDSM is popular amongst leftists because power dynamics are a taboo to leftists, while right-wingers prefer infidelity porn due to their love of family values and the taboo of subverting those values. 100%. It's actually a good explanation, Zerger.
People are begging Hyena to drop the messages, and she is hesitant. You would think that such a slam dunk would be posted immediately. Instead, Hyena drops a clipped message of the chat that eventually gets played on stream.
So this was after Ciancius was saying in a voice chat that she's 14. With other people were there to verify this, by the way. They don't call me daddy for no reason. I'd break every chair in the world just so you have to sit on my face. What's DDLG? That means Daddy Dom Little Girl. You're on your own. You're okay with the fact I'm younger than Daddy? Sure.
Vaush shows the screenshot on stream, but it is clipped heavily, literally 4 sentences. He also seems hesitant to give the audience the full story or context. Maybe it's because you and every person involved here knew that this was fake.
Not admitting anything? Extreme Dad, this isn't a court of law. Everyone here already thinks you're a pedophile. Why not just own it? And then just Extreme Dad, I feel like the lying is like makes it worse. Like if you just stood up and you were like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. I do go for that sweet teen pussy, and then dropped shit and left the chat. I mean, no one would like you, but there would be a certain level of respect for your bravado, I think. I think I can speak for chat when I say that.
Whatever outrageous thing comes to Vaush's mind, he says.
Alright, hold on. Extreme Dad, listen. I'm gonna give you a break, okay? Trogman with the $2. Cop zombies as bad as regular cops, ACAB? That's what I'm saying. True, brother! True. Listen, Extreme Dad, I'm giving you a 24-hour. Okay? With love. Okay? Godspeed.
Honest question, why would you only give a supposed pedophile a 24-hour ban from your community? You admitted earlier multiple times as minors in it that you personally know.
This, right here, Vaush. I'm not going to be charitable with you. It's over. You fucked this guy over because you didn't like him. Granted, it wasn't just Vaush. The blame is shared with Xander Hall and Vaush's girlfriend. But we're talking about Vaush. his bad takes, his lolly porn collection. Why should anyone be fair to you when you absolutely refuse to do it for anyone else? Vaush could have cleared the record. Instead, he painted someone guilty when they didn't deserve it. Vaush isn't a great political streamer. He's not even a great person. He's just an asshole. Another YouTuber. But hey, give the guy money because we need to make sure Biden gets in office. Now, there is one final part of this video that I want you to see, lads. It's best that you see this for yourselves.
Someone in their community social engineered Extreme Dad's real-life friends on Twitter to disclose personal information about Extreme Dad's real life, and figured out where he lived and worked. It started with phone calls to his cell phone at all times of the day. Eventually, it escalated when they began to dox his workplace. They would send 1,000 emails a day and make 100 phone calls. The emails would have fake sex offender registries that were in Extreme Dad's real name and with a photo someone pulled from Twitter. The owner of the business was someone who was in their late 60s, early 70s. Extreme Dad's boss didn't understand what was happening. When Extreme Dad was fired, via voicemail by the way, his boss told him that he was a nice kid, but this was just a bit too much. Why would your average boomer put up with something like that if they didn't have to? A few months later, COVID-19 started and he couldn't get another job. As if this wasn't enough, Extreme Dad lived in Oregon during the summer of 2020. That summer, record-breaking fires ravaged the entire state. While the Oregon fire was decimating everything in its path, Extreme Dad and his girlfriend ran away from their trailer home where the fire took Extreme Dad and his girlfriend's final remaining possessions. Extreme Dad was broke, with only a few dollars in his bank account. He looked his girlfriend in the eyes, who had been with him through the doxing, financial hardship, record-breaking fires, and more. He told her to leave him, to go live with her grandmother. He broke up with her because he couldn't provide for her, and wanted her to have a better life without him bringing her down. Extreme Dad is not the bad man that he was made out to be. In fact, this one event alone is something that only a good man would do. Many months later, he finally got a second job, which someone promptly found and doxed again, resulting in another termination.
I'd like to bring this up again, if only briefly, the fact that Vaush has had accusations lobbied against him before, such as Poppy or Pastel. Now, I want everyone to understand something. I don't know enough on those accusations to really comment on them. I bring them up because, well, Vaush knows what it's like to be accused of something. In fact, this beef with Lolly isn't the first time he's gotten in trouble. So, when someone, who he knows is innocent, is accused of something so heinous, he doesn't clear the record. In fact, he piles on. That's the type of person Vaush is. He's no pedophile or lollyphile or whatever file you can categorize him as. He's just an asshole with a god complex. That's the best way to characterize him from my perspective. Granted, I'm a bit biased here. I don't like it when someone of influence destroys another person's reputation, knowingly or otherwise, by calling them a pedo. I don't like it when Mama Max does it. I don't like it when Vaush did it to Extreme Dad. We aren't the police, nor are we judge, jury, and convictioners. YouTubers aren't better than other people. We're just normal people. We shouldn't be throwing around these types of accusations. But poofers, what about all the lolly accusations? What about it? I refuse to call Vaush a pedo. He's not. He really isn't. He's retarded. His early edgelord arguments make zero sense. And when others are being edgy but on the opposite side of the fence, he calls them white supremacists. I think there's a difference when calling someone an asshole instead of a pedophile. Is he cringy? Yeah, that lolly shit combined with his arguments don't help him in the eyes of outsiders looking in. When asked for a good faith assessment, we have to give it to him. But my problem with that is, he doesn't give the same good faith for others, especially those on the opposite side. Not that it matters if they were. He doesn't have charity for those on his side of the political spectrum either. So again, he's not a pedo, but I find it hard to give him what he demands we all do, because he simply addressed it years ago. That's not how this works, Vaush. At the end of the day, though, none of this really matters. Not the drama covering Vaush, not the people talking about him, not even me. We can't cancel him. Not that it's been my goal. nor do I think it's commentary's goal to cancel someone. Criticize, entertain, and educate. That's what we do. We can't get people to change their minds on their favorite creator. And I wouldn't want to. Again, it wouldn't matter if that was the goal though. Because the same people who watch Vaush and agree with his edgy takes on CP are the same people who enjoy chocolate bars and are watching them from their silicon-powered computers, while also simultaneously enjoying the benefits from Cobalt. I'm Captain Poofers. Good night, everyone.
lessons off